This is what has been drawn today by Stano. From the figures you have, how many votes belong to me? Of course, it's all about the census, and this is the residence of Honorable Tamar. Of course, you can see Tamar and his family, and this is what actually they are thinking about, the census, right? So this will be also a handy opportunity for the legislators to know, yes, how the votings will pan out, how many people, or maybe how you can actually craft your strategy as far as the 2022 is concerned. Aaron Cheriot.
No. Census, but there's a big politics about census, especially with regards to, census forms in the new formula that CRA has proposed that is now before our Committee of Finance in the Senate. Population is one of the key amongst the parameters they have actually increased in terms of, I think we've moved from 18 to, I don't have the figures right with me. So this census will be very important. And it is important that the state department that is handling it to do it with the highest level of professionalism, so that we don't have the issues like we had in 2009, where there were issues to do with the doctoring of results, and that there are certain regions that increased their numbers. Kenyans, and this is part of the problems that we continue to suffer, Debal, that it's very difficult to give Kenyans an assignment and trust them to do it with integrity. Much as most of the time as politicians we take the bashing, it's you guys who are creators of a problem, but inherently our society has a big problem in terms of its value system and the things that we are doing. So it's my sincerest hope that given the importance that the census plays, issues of planning, budgeting, resource distribution, that we will do the best. But I don't agree with Stano. I don't think there's anybody who relies on census to plan their vote. The more accurate thing or tool that will concern the politicians is the voter register.
From the IBC.
That's what we use to make our plans, not census.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but of course you're not really mobilizing, but you're telling Wananchi they should be, of course, in the places of residences when this material day will be announced. I don't know. There was actually misunderstanding as far as the date is concerned, when people should actually have a holiday or not. I don't know how that should be, because I remember maybe way back in 2009 also it was declared sort of a public holiday. I can't remember.
I was still in school, so maybe Otiende he was in government then proper.
I was still in school myself, yeah. But
he was in government proper. Leave alone now that he has come in through the window. Then he was properly in government.
All right, Otiende.
I don't know what Aaron means by that, that I was in government and now I'm coming through the window and all that. I think the last time I checked, Jubilee is still the government, unless Aaron and his camp have decamped formally, which we are yet to know. So as far as we know, I am still in the opposition and they are in government. And so all their lamentations must be turned on. Having said that cartoon, if you look at it again, there are only two things to be said. One is the choice of name of the imaginary MP. I mean, why does it have to be such a negative choice of name at Honorable Tamar? That is the constant depiction of MPs as only negative. And sometimes it invokes very bad feelings. Sometimes, to be fair, there should be some more neutral choices of names, even though, well,
even that stomach, how many people have that kind of stomach now?
Secondly, yes, and thirdly, as Aaron says, I think we should treat this census for what it is. And we have urged, and I think even in this panel last week we spoke to this, that we should make sure that this census is accurate and accountable. Even the idea of urging that everybody must go back to where you were born is false, because the numbers ultimately and the finances will follow where you stay. So you should be counted where you ordinarily stay. And we should, as much as possible, make sure that it is accurate and accountable. We must not allow some of the issues that arose in the last census to arise this time round also, where you find that there are issues and areas of inflation of figures. I think we should let's disabuse ourselves of this notion that we need to grow these numbers. Let us just be realistic. because that is what will help us in planning and in the development of this country.
Eseli?
I think the problem is purely Kenyan, that we Kenyans, where there is anything to do with figures, be it figures of money, figures of whatever, we like manipulating the figures. And that's something that we need to get rid of. And I think that's why it's what's raising problems with the census, in the sense that there will be figures as to how many people belong here, how many people in this sublocation and things like that. And Kenyans like tinkering with figures. I think we need to find a cure for Kenyans to stop tinkering with figures.
Right, thank you.
Be it population, or be it money, be it whatever, especially money. People and money go together. So if we tinker with figures for money, we'll also tinker with figures of people, the number. So I think Kenyans need to find a way. We need to find a way of stopping this terrible habit.
Right.
It's dragging us down, because a population census is just a population census. It's even biblical. Even in the Bible, there was a census. So people have always wanted, leaders have always wanted to know how many people they are catering for, so that they can plan. But for us, we play with them, with those figures. That's why the controversy arose in the last census, in the sense that some places appear to have tinkered with the figures, all based on what will be the resource allocation. And this is something that we need to disabuse ourselves from.
Right, thank you.
So I don't know who will police this matter and ensure that those figures are not tinkered with.
Right, thank you. Let's say from Boni Khalwale lastly.
The formula for sharing revenue. Population plays a whopping 45% as a weighting factor.
Yes.
For this reason, money then follows that large percentage. So until we work on the formula for sharing both revenue in such a manner that there is an overemphasis on population, people will remain very sensitive to how many people are in a county, in a ward, in a constituency, and so on. Having said that, people should not find anything wrong. Neither should they blame anybody who chooses to travel up country from Nairobi to go and be counted, because the earliest record of census is found in the Bible. And we have read that even Jesus, his father, was taking his family home to go and be counted.
Jesus was taking his father.
Joseph,
Okay.
his father,
Yeah,
was
it's good to
taking his
clarify.
family home to be counted.
Thank you.
So, and that is the earliest record of census. So maybe census is meant to count people at their home to know how many people from that home contribute to the national quota.
I know
But
Boni really believes in that story, Debal, because at one time, when we were in Senate together, he once told us a story. I don't know how true it is, that he had one of his son who was somewhere, I think around in the coast region, and he ensured that he was taken home to Ikolomani, though he lives in Mombasa. He said all lawyers must be counted as lawyers. So that tells you how much Boni believes in this narrative.
Not all lawyers. I think right of response. Not all lawyers. You see, it defeats logic to know that a county like Kakamega has got a population of 2.3 million. And then these services that are going to be drawn by these people are denied because at the time of counting those people, they had traveled. And yet they will come and draw on this service for an entire 10 years. So it is important that people are found where they will be drawing services from for the money to follow them, for them to benefit accordingly.
But let's clarify this.
Yes.
Dr. Lwale, that very reasoning contradicts your very assertion.
Yes.
Because it is for that reason that if you live in Nairobi, you should be counted where you ordinarily live. True. So that the services, that the money that is allocated to Nairobi is appropriate to the population. Rather than those who are suggesting, like the other week in Parliament, which we defeated, that everyone should go back to what they called their place of origin. And we defeated that because it would be illogical. Everyone will desert Nairobi, you are counted there, then you come back the very next day to serve for the next 6 months. It would be it would be really unfortunate.
So there need to be clarification as far as where it should be counted, isn't it?
Traveling back to where you came from was based on the old tax system, the heart tax, so that you go to your heart, so that you can count how many hearts you have, because that's the basis of taxation. These days, heart tax is not there. So the issue of traveling back to
Does not make any lick of sense.
does not make any sense.
Right.